Mortal Kombat was directed by Simon McCoy, and it stars a bunch of actors who I've never once heard of before, but they all play the very popular Mortal Kombat characters. A young MMA fighter is tasked with finding other champions of Earth before warriors from another world claim ours. For as long as I can remember, I've always really enjoyed playing fighting games. I'm a big fan of the Soul Calibur series, Street Fighter, and even Tekken, but I've only played the Mortal Kombat video game series a couple of times. How is that possible for somebody who really enjoys fighting games? I'm not sure. But over the years, I've been optimistic about video game movies. One of the most recent good ones was Tomb Raider. I enjoyed that one, so I was definitely hopeful for this Mortal Kombat movie going into it that I think it was going to be this cinematic masterpiece and one of the greatest movies of the last decade. Absolutely not. The only reason I went into this movie to watch it was for the action sequences. And in the 2021 version of Mortal Kombat, this movie delivers with its bloody, over-the-top, gory action sequences. I was thoroughly entertained by the action in this movie, and unlike a lot of other action movies, when fighters are taking damage, they take some serious damage. There is a ton of blood. You can tell that these fighters are beat up. It's not like somebody gets punched 1,000 times and is completely fine. There is not a single bruise on their body. In this movie, we see these guys go through the ringer. It's absolutely refreshing for once to see people actually take damage throughout a fight in a movie like this. If I had to choose the best action sequences in the movie though, and of course no spoilers, but my two favorite are the ending and the opening action sequences. I think a lot of people would agree. The way this movie opens after it happened, I thought this movie was going to be dope. I could not wait to watch the rest of Mortal Kombat. Unfortunately though, the rest of the movie spends a majority of its time trying to build an actual story, when in reality the story is very weak. It's a Mortal Kombat movie. It's based on a video game franchise where people literally have some of the most over-the-top deaths that we've ever seen from any pop culture thing that's out there. It's not supposed to be this incredible, one-of-a-kind story that you've never seen before and is just so amazing. Whenever they tried building the story in the film, that's exactly when I checked out the most. However, I will give them some credit. There are some scenes that gave me some chills, a couple of character moments that made me want to stand up and clap. But another thing that really hurt this movie for me was some of the acting, because the acting in this movie, I really have no other words. To say the least, a lot of the acting in the movie is straight up bad, but I can't tell if it's the script or the actors themselves. Whoever was behind the horrendous acting and line delivery in this movie, if you do make a sequel, make sure you either find new actors or new screenwriters, because in this movie, at times, it was unbearable to watch. Not to mention, some of the special effects in Mortal Kombat don't hold up. I mean, come on, look at this guy. He looks exactly like the Hulk from the 2003 movie. That film came out 18 years ago. It's 2021. Some of the CGI in this movie is good, but then you also got that. So what the heck were you doing behind the scenes? Now, I am somebody who has not seen a single review of Mortal Kombat. The review that I'm doing now is the first review that I've seen out of any review of this film. The only other thing I've seen about this movie is the tomato meter, which is somewhere in the 50th percentile. But most of this movie, I didn't hear a single thing about before watching it. But even without knowing, I'm positive that a lot of people had complaints about the character development in this film. So many characters are left untapped, a few of them are completely wasted, and almost all of the characters are given the bare minimum in terms of character depth. Again, this is just a Mortal Kombat movie. It's based on a video game franchise where characters are fighting against each other to the death and their limbs are severed off. It's not supposed to be taken that seriously, but it would have been nice if they gave some of these characters who we know and love, especially for the diehard Mortal Kombat fans to give these characters at least something else besides some cool powers. If I had to pick my favorite character in the movie though, it's without a doubt Kano. That guy had the best lines in the movie. Am I really surprised that the new Mortal Kombat movie is not a good film? No, I'm not surprised at all. You're not supposed to go into a Mortal Kombat movie with the highest expectations. It's not going to be an Oscar movie or anything you really remember after watching it, but it is there for your entertainment with all the action sequences and the characters that you like from the Mortal Kombat video game series. I'm giving Mortal Kombat a 45%. Let me say too that this movie does set up room for some sequels, and if somebody asks me if I wanted to see a sequel to this film, I would say yes. I do feel like they can improve upon this film. This one set up the universe and it did everything it had to do to make more room for more movies. And now we have opportunities to just have a bunch of awesome action sequences in the sequels. We don't really need much more storytelling. Of course, though, if you guys also happen to see the new Mortal Kombat, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. And guys, as always, if you are new to my channel, click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.